Yo, 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 Salaam nerds! It's your boy Neve, aka Watch with Neve, and I'm here with my co-host Jav, aka the Jazzolator.
The
You know,
Jazzolator?
like the
Because the
escalator?
escalator?
Yes,
She
the
was so fascinated
Jazzolator.
by it.
Yo, I've never seen
Yes.
someone so happy to see an escalator before.
It was cute. It was cute.
Yeah.
Before we really jump in, spoilers, because last time we had people get mad at us.
I don't know how you can get mad at a recap episode when there's spoilers, but people do. I don't know why. You know what it is? People just love us so much. They just want to see our faces and don't care what the content is. And then they're like, oh no, spoilers.
Yeah.
We love that. We love people who support us.
Thank
So
you.
much
Bye,
support.
everybody.
Speaking of supporters, I decided to bring on one of my favorite supporters who's crocheting right now. I think she's like knitting.
Gotta get done. It's gotta get done.
She's like crocheting while she's on an episode of podcast. She's the ultimate multitasker. So you've probably seen her in the comment section. We mentioned her a few times on the show. She is a dear friend of mine, probably one of the most talented, intellectual people I know. She's so smart that every time I talk to her, I'm like, oh, she must not know how dumb I am. I have a dictionary in front of me. I started this SAT word of the day just for her because I wanted to make sure that I can have a conversation with her and I'm not dumbing things down.
I'm so
proud. Welcome to the show, Ruby. Ruby, please tell our audience a little bit about you.
Hi. Thanks for having me. A long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Greetings. Tis I, Ruby. I am the rubric. I've been, I don't know what, hanging out. I don't watch any of the TV. This is the first time that I've watched a TV for this express purpose of knowing what you guys are talking about the first time around. So
I
you're
know.
welcome.
That's so awesome. So Ruby watches our podcast even though she doesn't watch the stuff we're like talking about. So
Exactly.
It's so wild. We love that kind of support. That's awesome.
Well, I don't get mad about spoilers, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That is weird that you don't get worried about spoilers.
It's because I know I'm never gonna get around to it.
Oh, okay.
And I have always been a little bit lax about spoilers. I was one of those because I would get frustrated if I was watching a show and I'd be like, "That's it. We're looking at the Wikipedia. When does this happen?" And then I would.
Yeah. I dated someone like that, and like basically it was like Game of Thrones, and she loves Game of Thrones, and she never watched a single episode. She's like, "No, I just find out what happens on like on websites in memes." I was just like, okay.
There's whole books for that. There's like
I know.
They've handled that situation. You don't have to watch it.
Oh my god, it's crazy. All right, and also we have to mention our favorite guest who's been on for such a long time for The Last of Us is Ruzzy. What up, Ruzzy?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I am still here. I am not in a mall basement or in a basement somewhere. Spoiler alert. I'm glad to be back. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's been a fun ride.
Listen, I'm from Jersey, so I know all about malls, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into tons of stuff. So much stuff we're going to get into. I did not know this was going to be a flashback episode. When I watched the previews, I didn't know what was happening. I thought this girl straight up left Joel dying and went to go hang out at the mall with some friends. That's what I thought happened. I had no idea it was going to be a flashback.
And I got in trouble last week because I knew, because I said in the chat, it's a flashback. She got bit in a mall, obviously. This was the mall. And you were like, no spoilers. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Just because you don't mind spoilers doesn't mean the rest of our audience doesn't.
I didn't know it was a spoiler. I thought we all made the connection. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
I still don't know how Ellie got him to the from the railroad into a cabin.
That was my question.
Right?
I was going to ask if you guys knew. Did he like come to?
Yeah, maybe he came to and like walked a little bit, and because there's no way she's carrying that
horse.
Man.
No.
That's why.
Yeah, I would imagine she would like put him on like a sled type thing and just like maybe have the horse carry him. Yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean you got to makeshift, something. Get him MacGyver because he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. He's pretty big, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So the show starts off in a flashback, and like my nightmare, it starts off with gym class. So I'm just like seeing her run around the gym Seeing her run around the gym was like, oh my God. Like, you think it's the apocalypse and it's because they don't have places to run. No, I grew up in a school in Newark, and that's how our gym class was. We ran around the freaking basketball court over and over. We weren't allowed to. We didn't have a track. So, like, that was like, they were like, oh, this is because of the apocalypse. I'm like, no, man, that's how I did it.
That's the 90s.
I know. I feel like what's that thing about the hood? If we have to like get run around similar to the apocalypse, that's just weird. I also had the same Walkman, so it was really nightmares of just
on point
flashbacks. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
PTSD.
And then she got into a fight with Bethany. No offense, just sounds like a bitch name. I'm just saying. No offense to any Bethany's out there, but just sounds like a rich girl's name you want to punch in the face, and that's what Ellie did.
She got the black eye for it though. So,
I know. But did you see the other guy?
Yeah, she had like 15 stitches.
15 stitches.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Stitches.
I love the line where she was like, "Oh, your friend Riley isn't here to fight you." Like, and then boom, punch right in the face. Ellie's got that dog in her, man. She's not one to mess around. All right, let's go around the room and talk about the gym part. Jazz, you want to go first?
So the gym scene, it did take me by surprise because, like, I'm in Texas. We have the big old gyms here. We have tracks in every high school. So seeing him just like run around in a tiny circle, I'm like, oh God, I guess you got to do what you got to do. I didn't realize that was a real thing in other parts of the country. I thought everybody.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that was, a little off-putting for me, but it makes sense. It's apocalypse. You have to be indoors, away from everybody. So
well, what was our excuse?
Yeah, right.
Be indoors, away from everybody.
Jazz and its privilege ass.
Right. I love it. I love Houston. But when she was in that scene with Captain Kwong, I was like, oh, snap. We got some AAPI representation here.
Let's go.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Captain Kwong, he was a great mentor there. Like, he was like, you have two choices. You can either be the dick that you are, or you can, follow the pathway we've set for you, become an officer, and tell Beth to shove it. And I was like, yes. This is the kind of mentorship we need.
It's never too late to stop being a dick. That's a little Quantum Mania reference for you if you guys haven't seen it.
Another Quantum Mania reference to that too, because we'll get to that later. But yeah.
All right, we'll get to that later. But I one of the things that Kwong said that I really, really like, you're so smart, you're stupid. And I'm like, whoa. We got now.
So many people like that.
Now, Ruby, you're the smartest person here. How do you feel about that comment? Are you so smart that you're stupid?
Yeah. Listen, I have a big problem with this show because I got sucked into it way too hard by like looking into Bella's like brown eyes and seeing my like old self come out of there and be like, oh my God, I was so awkward. I was so scared of everything. But it kept coming back to that the entire show was everybody telling her, you don't know everything. You don't know everything. You don't know everything. And I'm like, well, speaking from experience, she's not going to figure that out until she's like 28. So they'll just have to keep saying it.
Fair. See, that's my superpower. I never thought I was smart, so I was never. I never had that experience. I was so stupid. I was stupid. You know what it is, man. You got to you can't oversell. You got to undersell and overdeliver. That's what I do.
You're smart.
I know.
Set the expectations low.
Exactly. Ruthie, what about you, big time lawyer? What's going on with you, man?
Oh boy, not yet. I can't give legal advice yet. But yeah, no. I mean, I loved it. I think the scene where she was like, "Oh, why do you even care?" And then he kind of responds pretty quickly and says, "There's a leader in you," right? So I think he clearly sees that her potential, and I really admired that. So I think with the way that this Fedra fascist school is run, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about it, right? This like boot camp for future Fedra soldiers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine folks having banned posters in their, fascist dorm, but that's just what I think.
They're just like ROTC kids, man. It's no big deal. All right. So we get to meet Riley for the first time, who is Storm Reed, a phenomenal actress. If you guys have not seen Euphoria, don't watch it. It's a great show.
For haram nerds.
It's very haram. It's a very haram show, but she does such an amazing. She plays Zendaya's sister. Zendaya's obviously a crackhead, and she just, oh my god, every scene she's in, she just sells it so well. So well. She is an amazing actress, and they needed an amazing actress to be on par with Bella. They couldn't have like one person carrying the scene, and I think they picked the right person. What did you guys think about the actress? Razi, you want to go first?
Oh, I love Storm Reid, and I knew she'd be phenomenal. And so when I heard she was going to be Riley before even watching this episode, I knew she would just nail it, and she did. And just like everything from like those, little moments of like seeing when she comes in the room and she basically tries to like almost like, suffocate her and then scare her. You just kind of get the sense of like their relationship. So, and the empty bed, right? So I think like she played the part just so well. I can't wait to talk more about her.
I do want to say she was being so loud. Like you need to be a little bit more quieter when you're speaking about being part of a terrorist organization, girl.
And when you're sneaking around too, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's like it.
Jazz, what about you?
So, yeah, as Rosie said, she nailed it. Rosie and I have both played the games, and I feel like this whole episode, like, it was like a direct copy from the game. They did such a good job with this whole episode and these scenes. It was just fantastic. She did a great job. And the more we discuss about her, the more excited I am. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ruby, what about you?
That was my main concern, was having somebody have to play against how intense Ellie is, right? Mm-hmm. But then they did such a good job with the contrast the whole time of like, oh, April's here. I didn't see that until now.
Yeah, April said she nailed it.
Because Ellie is so aggressive all the time, and then you want to see like a balance of like the other ways that people can react to this scenario. And I liked that she was like not that violent in her reactions to things. She was a lot more even keel, but she wasn't like the giving up, like, because those are like kind of two extremes, right? And I liked seeing this like middle ground. I know she was, I think, only like a year older than her. She said she was turning 16, right? So she was like 15.
Yeah. She
definitely wasn't as old as she thought she was, but like she had a lot of maturity, and I really admired the contrast there.
Nice. So we see her come back in and pick up Ellie. It's after 2 a.m. And if you watch How I Met Your Mother, you know nothing good happens after 2 a.m. So they decide to go on this little cruise where they're just like hopping over rooftops. And I've never seen rooftops like that in America. Like they look like they were rooftops of Karachi or something. We're just like going over.
Has anybody been to Boston? Like, is that what Boston is?
Yes.
Is that what Boston is? Yeah, I don't know. Is that how the rooftops are?
Because
Kinda.
That's what they're supposed to be. I don't remember when I was in Boston.
So can you go to the roof of your house and then just jump over and get to the roof of another person's house? Like, is that possible in Boston?
I think they took some creative liberty here.
I think they did too, but that sounds amazing. Like, could you imagine just like you and your best friends have like a rooftop network, and like you're just going from house to house, hanging out?
That'd be awesome. I would just fly kites with my friends. Yeah, it's so awesome.
Exactly. Very Karachi.
Exactly. All right. So let's see. You know, one thing I was pretty offended by, and I was pretty upset about this show. They said this woman named Marlena or Marlene contacted her. She's like, I don't know, she's 40, she's old. I was like, damn, that hurts. That hurts so much.
Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, yep.
It was hilarious because you could tell, like, but she said it in the way that you like that kids do, where she's like, I don't know, 40 or like 50 or I don't know, and it's like you just know she's like 33 at the most, and she's like, I don't know, she was ancient.
Oh man, that hurt so much. All right, so they get to the mall, and then they start. It put on the lights, and you see like the escalators, and I knew it was a mall before I even saw it, because like the way the lights came on, I'm like, this is a mall. They just showed her face. They didn't even show this stuff, and I was just like, that is the look of somebody who's seen the mall for the first time. and it was really, really cool. The way they decorated that set was insane. Did they use like a real mall, or was it all a set? Like, it's wild how good that was.
It had to be a real mall, like one of those abandoned malls.
I mean,
considering
they're all
There are many of
failing.
those.
There's so many
all
failed
failing.
malls.
Like, this is probably more a reflection of current society and not zombie society.
Yeah. They probably failed before the zombie apocalypse. It was the economy that took it first.
Yay, capitalism and Amazon ruining everything.
Well, at least now we know what kind of stores make it after the zombie apocalypse went down. So Victoria's Secret is safe. No one is ransacking that place.
Oh my God.
Practical.
I saw the GameStop being
or the Body Shop.
ransacked, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Bed Bath and
That's
Beyond
crazy.
Body Shop.
What is
It
that?
was like
Yeah, the
people
Body
want
Shop.
shoes, but they don't want soap. And I'm like, I feel like in the apocalypse,
that
I would stockpile soap. I think I would.
want those.
I think I
Y'all
would.
I think I do
Y'all are
both.
smart.
Listen,
I would,
if you
like,
were the
stockpile.
only
I think I would
person,
want that.
if you were the only person in Apocalypse that smells like pomegranate, I think you can get some like. I think that's a good deal.
You never know what scent might repel the zombies, and you need to try them all. Okay?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like zombies cannot smell papaya, so you'll be safe from all the zombies. You never know.
Or mango
Yeah,
passion fruit.
It was, yeah. What are the what are the Bath and Body Works scents? Like the Japanese cherry blossom, the, like you know what I'm talking about? They have these like signature scents that everybody has like tried at some point.
Yeah, all of them. Cucumber
I'm
melon.
like, cucumber melon.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
For me, it's that eucalyptus one. I can never remember the full name, but it's eucalyptus something. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
That's gotta be
man.
refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It'd be funny if the zombies did attack and there's just be a bunch of fresh smelling zombies walking around. One of them has like hair from Vidal Sassoon. Like just like, wow, what kind of conditioner do you use?
Oh my
man.
gosh.
That,
Oh, no.
That's really funny. All right, so they do that, and then they go to a merry-go-round, and I knew the merry-go-round carousel before they even looked at it. I just don't know why. Something in their eyes, I'm just like, that's what that is.
It's the incandescent yellow light, like you can
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very
It has that glow.
and it's a
Yeah.
mall. You know, malls got to have that stuff. And then
Yeah.
they ran around. They're like, yeah, I'm on a horse right now, and I'm like, okay, cool, nice.
That's
And they
cute.
have like a
That's
conversation.
magical.
Yeah, and they
You
talk about like.
appreciate that.
And you really see their relationship because you're like, is it a friendship? Is it something more? And that's where you start getting an
Yeah.
inkling of it, right? And you're
Mhm.
like, is this a date? Because this is a damn cute date in the zombie apocalypse. It's the cutest zombie apocalypse date I've ever seen.
Of
Definitely
all
a
the
date.
zombie apocalypse shows I've seen, this is the best date I've ever seen on one.
Like, I'm stealing this idea once the zombie apocalypse happen. I'm going to take somebody on a date to an abandoned mall. It's amazing. I feel like you're in.
I
Right?
feel
Victoria's
like,
Secret's right there, like untouched.
Exactly.
I feel like I can remind you about the end of the episode and see how
Oh,
that turns
yeah.
out for you.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. Also, I noticed there was a CVS there, and I'm like, you know, the receipts from CVS alone can like you can be used for anything. They're so long.
Seriously. Do you know how long those
Oh.
things are? My God.
Those
You make a
things take
rope out of them.
forever.
Like,
Yeah, you can make toilet
Use
paper
those
out of
to
them.
like cauterize the wound. Put it on the
Cauterize.
Band-Aid. Yeah.
That's a tourniquet. Yeah, a tourniquet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you probably
tourniquet.
kill those
There we go.
zombies with
Yeah.
paper cut. Oh, CVS.
Oh no.
Oh man. And the arcade was by a DC guy, Raja Arcade. Shout out to
Mhm.
Raja.
whoever
Our
you are,
man.
man, big shout out.
Whoever you are, Raja. Shout out to you making an arcade in the zombie apocalypse.
You're the
hope you
MVP.
made it.
What's up? Let me see if I can
I
find a
do too.
Raja arcade. Like, I'm very curious to see if this is a real thing.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen a Raja
Oh my
arcade.
god, it's
Is it?
Liberty Gardens.
In what
Where's
city?
that?
Wait,
Boston.
is this straight up a Boston mall like that exists?
Oh, what?
No
No
way.
way. That's
Made it?
amazing.
No, it doesn't
I gotta
exist.
see
But
this.
Oh.
Okay.
they did recreate it in a way where like it's just a thing. Okay, Raj is actually probably something like one of the people working on the game. One of the designers. put their name in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Jeff, stop
Yes.
tricking us, or I'm gonna mute your mic.
I'm so excited.
That wasn't very nice. We're all like, wow, and Jeff is like, no, I'm lying. All right.
But let's see if the mall's real. It's Liberty Gardens Mall. I don't know if that's real.
That sounds like a real thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
If I was gonna
somewhere.
name a mall, that's what I would name it. Liberty Garden.
You know, I've designed a mall. It's called the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Look it up. It's one of the biggest
I'm
malls in
looking
the
it up right
country.
now.
Yeah. I did their entire ski lift and everything.
What? They have a ski lift in a
They have
mall?
yep, and I designed it.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
It's amazing.
Like a ski lift, like you sit on the thing and it like goes like,
Yep.
nah.
Yep.
So
Designed
that's why you're like, whatever. I've never seen somebody so excited to see an escalator. You're like, get on my level. I was excited about the escalator. We used to go to this, go see like these little plays. They were like, I don't know, educational, like children's theater plays. And we'd go. And during the intermission, when my mom wasn't there, I would make all my friends run out of the theater to the escalators, ride them up, down, up, down, up, down. Then that was out of time, run back to the theater. Escalators are the bomb, okay? But now I understand you're a ski lift guy. Okay.
Listen. Have you guys ever seen the escalator pranks on YouTube and TikTok? So what they do is they get like a hot girl and they go up the escalators and the people coming down are couples. So they find a couple and then the girl touches like the guy's hand or the girl's hand and then the girl gets really, really mad. Like, why is her husband looking at her? So they do these pranks.
They're sowing discord. Oh no.
You know all the couple that are going home and fighting afterwards because of that.
That's terrible.
Have you all seen Mallrats?
Oh,
seen
bro, I
Mallrats?
love Mall.
The kid is on the escalator again. and then they'll like at the end of the movie, the kid gets caught in the escalator.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Dark
my
turn.
fear though.
Dark turn.
If you guys haven't seen Mallrats, highly recommend it. It's a film, takes place in Jersey. It's by Kevin Smith. Stan Lee makes a cameo in it. And in the movie
cameo.
Captain Marvel, you can see Stan Lee on the bus reading a script for Mallrats. So it's really, really cute. Everything comes together.
That was a good callback.
Yeah,
that was a good
It
callback.
was really cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was the one right before he died too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
R.I.P. Yep. All right. Little segue there. All right. Where are we at?
Speaking of death, just kidding.
Oh, God.
I found a dead guy in the hallway with a bottle of beer and pills.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that. The guy just falls through the cracks.
Yeah, literally.
Piece of that
This is
guy.
not structurally sound.
That was like
Commits-
straight up like a Breaking Bad scene. You know how like
Yeah.
the dude, they come straight through the
Oh yeah,
ceiling.
season 1
Oof.
with the hydrogen fluoride.
So did,
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
did the
Oh
guy
my
commit
God.
suicide
like
though?
that.
Did he commit suicide,
Yeah,
or
he
did
Yeah,
was
you
he
saw
just
the
want to party?
pills next to alcohol.
Mhm.
Oh,
How
He was
they-
like, didn't they tell him not to mix these? And she was like, I think he knew what he was doing.
All right.
Yeah.
It's on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who doesn't drink, now I know. In case I ever don't mix and match.
Yes, don't mix your medicine with alcohol.
Continue
with
to
that
not
stuff.
take pills while you not drink. Yes.
Yes. All right then.
Yikes.
All right. So I believe Riley starts having a heart-to-heart with her a little bit, and she's like, "Hey, you might have a chance to, join the stay with Federa and change things, but I'm going to be on sewage detail. Like I am going to have like the worst life imaginable, right? And it's not like here where like the jobs that people don't want to do gets paid more, so at least you get that out of it. You're just sewage detail. That's it.
That's your life.
And then
No
she's
other thing with it.
and I can see why she would want to leave and do something else. It's not a fair system, but it's the only system they have. And then you kind of see like stuff being peeled back and why she's leaving and the kind of character she is. What did you think about that, Jazz? You want to go first?
It hit because like even in our society, like I taught at the University of Houston at one point, and I would see kids coming in all walks of life. Some people were so privileged, they got a full ride scholarship, they had the best tutors in high school, yada yada. And then I had kids who were like, new immigrants, right? Their families made less than minimum wage. They were getting paid under the table for X, Y, and Z reason. Yet they were all struggling too. And if there's nothing to attain beyond that, yeah, people will get real frustrated real quick, and people will get angry with it. So I totally see why Riley was so upset with everything. It's not a fair system, and people want an out. This is what happens. Like you either, elevate everybody, you lift up all the boats, or you get discord and you end up with revolution.
That's right. Revolution is the voice of the unheard. I believe that's what they say. So hey, all right. Ruby, what about you? What are your thoughts about Riley's situation?
Oh, listen. It gave me more questions. Okay. I feel like, because this is what I wanted to ask you guys about, who played the game. I keep forgetting that these kids are like, they were born into this, right? Like these kids are, and it's because it's been like 20 years.
Right.
So like Riley, she was saying like, oh, I had a family and I didn't have that much time with them, but like I belonged somewhere. And she's like joining this group. Yeah, because like she doesn't see her future going anywhere, but also because they're promising her a community, right? Or like a family, she feels. And then, yeah, right? And then I don't know. I feel like I don't have a very solid grasp of like exactly what happened to these kids that were born post-apocalypse kind of thing. Like what, do we know anything about what actually happened to her family? Or they just got one day that they were all living here surviving or something, and then like are the orphans the ones that end up in the Fedra school? Or why does she act like Ellie didn't have, like Ellie had to have been born to somebody, but then she never knew her family? So then it just like brought a lot of questions actually for me. And I don't know if you guys have those answers because I didn't play the game and I
don't know if Rafi
want answers. I just like,
can you guys bring some light without spoilers?
Think so, because I think this is mentioned already. I think in episode 1, Marlene says that I was a friend of her mother's, right? I think something along those lines came up. And so I think there's definitely a connection between Ellie's mother and Marlene. And then Marlene obviously expressed like, you know, her condolences to Ellie over Riley, right? They knew they had a bond. And also that she was a Firefly. So I think there was that connection there. But in terms of like the backstory behind Riley and her family, I don't think we're going to learn that. But I think we could just kind of guess what may have happened, right? So
okay,
something not good.
It's so sad. I felt so sad.
It really is, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I believe her name was Anna. I don't know if that's from the game or if they mentioned it in the show. But Anna was the name of Ellie's mom, and that's just it. They don't actually tell us who the dad was, if I recall.
I like April's question right here. She says her concern with the Fireflies prey upon the kids based on their lack of future and community, which makes a lot of sense because that's what a lot of terrorists do. They prey upon these young kids.
Say that. Yeah, when you don't have hope and you don't know where to go. I mean, what do you turn to? I mean, you look for those things that will help to empower you, right? Whether it be, white nationalist movements or, any far right nationalist movement around the world based on ethnicity or religion, that sense of belonging. People are always yearning for that. And I think, through social media and the internet, it's really kind of disconnected societies and communities in ways that people are now reconnecting from being in person or having in-person communities to having digital communities. And that's where a lot of these, extremist viewpoints come up.
A lot of these people have a lot of anger and these people give them a place to put it. And, they tell them that your anger is justified and this is the person responsible for it. It makes a lot of sense for that to happen. So April, good point. But back to the mall, we get to see them in the arcade, which I thought was really, really cool. The lighting in the arcade is so beautiful. It actually did remind me of Euphoria because Euphoria does a lot of lighting, that neon purple kind of lighting. So I was like, it was just a beautifully lit scene. And you get to see them play Mortal Kombat. And this is the third reference to Mortal Kombat. I don't know what, is it by the same people who made Mortal Kombat, or is Mortal Kombat have to do that? Is Noob Sabat the guy who's bringing all these zombies out? I don't know. I don't know. It's a third reference because we saw one in a room. We saw the game. And then we also saw it when they were ransacking some random Quickie Mart. So I don't know. That was really cool. We have to see them, play Daytona USA and like all these old school games that you remember.
Totally.
And like you knew when they go around and they play like their second round and the lights pan out and you see the other zombie in the other room. I was like, oh man,
of course, in the American Girl store.
Is that the American Girl store? Yes.
Yeah. I literally just went there with my daughter. Yep. I was like, I'm never going back there again. Never.
That was so funny. I noticed that too. The American Doll.
Oh, it was so eerie. It was like, Samantha, no. Oh god.
It was a lot. And then while this zombie is or clicker or infected is getting his groove back and trying to come back to life after being abandoned in a mall for a while, they start hanging out and they're just putting on masks and then they take them off and then it was like, ooh, two best friends in a room, they might kiss. Like one of those memes.
Yes, they will. Okay.
and yeah, so a little bit of representation for the LGBT community in this scene. Now, I guess we all saw it coming. We all got to see it coming. So I was like, all right, wasn't a big surprise. Is that like that in the game too?
Yeah. I mean, actually, you can see the chemistry just throughout, like with the carousel, with the photo booth, and then now with the Halloween store. And I actually, when they were starting to get to the when she was running out the door, I was like, oh man, they're gonna miss the Halloween store. And then you heard the scream. I was like, yes. So yeah, it was great.
It got me. Yeah,
it got me. I was like, oh.
I thought we were going right for it because I was waiting for it the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
The preview last week had it. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, did it? I don't. Yeah, good of attention. Yeah. Oh no!
No, this.
I cried. I cried when she was like, "Don't go." That's when I cried. I cried every episode, but that was the one for me. I was just like, "Oh my god, don't go."
No, this scene was directly ripped from the game. Like, this whole episode was ripped from the game.
It's so good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I also like the return of the puns.
Yeah.
It was a pun.
No pun intended. Volume 2.
So Ruby does this amazing thing on her TikTok. You give her a sentence and she can translate it in the most complicated, old-timey, transatlantic version of it. And it's wild. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you can, let me know and I would have you do some of these puns in your thing.
Send me some puns. Let me look at them.
All right.
Sometimes you gotta have words that lend themselves to saying something a different way.
I have 2 puns. You can pick either one. Why?
Let me see.
What did the first cannibal?
Wait, hang on. How the heck am I going to translate a pun? The whole point is a pun is based off of the actual words. That's how you make a pun is out of the specific words.
Well, it doesn't have to be a pun. It could just be.
Okay, you just want a translation.
You don't have to pun it.
Oh, okay.
Pun intended.
I was about to be like, listen.
What did the first cannibal do when they got sick?
What did the cannibal do when they got sick?
Yeah.
This is the one that she said, right? Or when he was he was frustrated, he threw up his hands, right? That's
yeah.
He
threw up the frustration.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to say that the consumer of human flesh was feeling rather poorly, and what ensued was that he cast his limbs up into the air and flailed them about haphazardly.
Wow! Yo,
Rob. That was amazing.
Yo, you are so talented. You know what she does? She does these for rap lyrics, and they're so funny. I asked her to do "Baby Got Back," and it was hilarious. Go check out Ruby on TikTok. She's probably the most talented person.
That's awesome.
All right, that's so cool. We got to do one more because that was so good.
Oh no! Okay, I thought I was off the hook now.
Okay, how does a computer get drunk? He takes screenshots.
Okay, screenshots is a very specific word.
Yeah.
Oh. So is computer.
It is.
I don't know about these. These words. These might be a little too specific.
All right, these might be too. You got the first one really good.
You gotta give me stuff that's got old topics. I'm using the old language, and then it's what's an old word for the
Computers didn't
alien
exist
machine.
back then.
Abacus?
Yeah, it'd be like the abacus. Like you can't take a screenshot on an abacus. I don't know.
That
How
is
about
very
this?
true.
Yeah,
That
what do you
joke's
got?
coming back. All right, I forgot how to throw a boomerang, but it came back to me.
Very good. Very good. Very
Nice,
good.
nice.
No, I'm thinking of all the stuff my dad used to say. I wondered why that rock was getting bigger, then it hit me.
Nice.
Oh man. All right. So we see Riley and Ellie get attacked. That was scary. Kind of knew what was coming. The Spirit Halloween store was a bad place to be chilling when a zombie apocalypse happened. I was like,
Very appropriate.
Totally.
very appropriate. Also, shout out for Spirit Halloween for surviving the zombie apocalypse.
I mean,
Great
there's
business
no
model.
who's gonna survive
Untouched.
zombie apocalypse.
Untouched.
They just have a great business model. They only exist like 1 month a year.
Bro, I can see it
Jeez.
right now. Like, if zombie apocalypse happen, every store shuts down. Spirit Halloween comes in and takes over. This is what they do.
Yep. It's like that movie Demolition Man, where it's like the only restaurant to survive the chain was Taco Bell. Now every fancy restaurant is called Taco Bell.
But that's very good.
Oh man. All right. So Ellie and Riley get bit. This is a phenomenal moment because the acting is so crazy because Ellie freaks out and then you see like Riley just deadpan, just tears streaming through her face, but no reaction. So powerful. Amazing. Jazz, what do you think about that? Because that was amazing.
I want to go to the bites for a second, the actual bites. I don't know if y'all caught this, but you can see the tendrils going into their body,
Oh.
they were sticking out a bit, right? And
The
she
what?
tried
I
to
didn't
wipe
see
them
that.
off. The little
I thought
tendrils.
that it was blood welling
saw-
up. I
I-
totally didn't catch that.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah,
Wait, what do you mean tentacles? I'm so confused.
The tendrils, like when we get bit, right? Like, you know,
They're
in the
little-
first episode, the little hair
Rhizomes
things
or
on
whatever
her-
those things
tendrils?
are.
Oh.
You could see them going into her skin, and I thought that was a
Ugh.
really cool touch.
Oh, because when she
Oh,
wipes
wow.
it, she just
I need to
wipes
check
it
that out.
furiously.
Yeah, and like you see them like seeping in like really quickly. It's like you see the infection happening. It's
Oh yeah,
fascinating.
I didn't notice. Was it on Ellie or
Yeah.
Riley?
I did.
It was on both.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need to check
they
that
did
out.
a really good job with that. I was like, whoa. And then yeah, like you expect Ellie to be angry. You see her reacting on her emotions, and
Yeah.
Riley's just like, "I'm a soldier. I know what's about to happen."
Well,
Alright.
Riley's also experienced loss before, right? Because she lost her parents, and she's like, "It was probably going to happen. We just got there sooner than later." And then they talked about their options, and the options were to just kill themselves or just wait and spend the last few minutes or 2 days or whatever with each other. And it sounds like that's what they decided to do. And it was a really nice, beautiful moment, but it's really sad because they had their first kiss, their first love, their first date, and it was also their last, which was really sad.
Life's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a relief to me. I expected, because the minute it happened, I started going through all the options in my mind. But I just rewatched World War Z, okay? And so, like, in there, you get bit. They're soldiers. They're like, no, I've got this one. And they take themselves out because they know they're going to be dangerous. And
Yeah.
I thought that we were gearing up for, like, a debate. I also freaked out because at first I thought just Ellie had got bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what's going to happen if only one of them is bitten? How are we going to get out of this? Because we know Ellie survives. Which, by the way, that's the other thing about this episode. Kudos to them for like being so effectively emotional when I'm going through this whole thing, knowing in the back of my mind, I know Ellie lives, and I'm pretty
Right.
sure the other person isn't gonna because she's not around
Me too.
anymore. Like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But they still get you. Anyways,
Yeah.
the moral of the story was I was very, very concerned about them deciding what to do with the rest of their time. And then it turned out like so romantic that they're just like, well, everybody ends up here. We'll just go into that together.
Devastating
Ugh.
episode.
Ooh.
And this scene was really good because like it also not only like did you see the scenes of the flashback, but they kept cutting to Ellie looking for the first aid
Yeah.
kit. Like, it showed the true contrast of who she was, how she learned from her loss, and she was going to do everything in her power to make sure that Jules survived.
Great point, Jeff.
Exactly.
Great
Yeah,
point.
like the cinematography here was beautiful.
I need to learn how to sew because that came in real handy.
I don't think she knew how to sew. I think she just like hacked it together. Like,
as Ruby is literally sewing right in front of us, still crocheting.
Listen, when the zombie apocalypse happens, I'll make all of our clothes. Okay,
that is true.
Y'all want to be on my team? Okay, I know what to eat in the woods.
Oh yeah,
I know what to use for medicine. I've been preparing for this my whole life. I practiced sleeping on the floor, so I've been training. Okay.
I practiced sleeping. I slept on the floor for 5 years, so I am good with that.
You're ready. You're ready.
Oh, wow.
No pillows, no blankets. We're prepared.
Also, I've climbed Kilimanjaro, so I can be out in the wild, be in the woods. So, so what about you two?
Your application is accepted.
Me and Ruby are going.
Here we go.
Me and Ruby are good.
Damn. Let's see if my Cub Scout skills will come back.
What do the rest of you bring to the table?
Yeah, Rez got Cub Scout skills, and I'll do your taxes.
Yeah,
I don't think we need taxes.
No. He's got a point. Don't get ahead of yourself, Neebs. We're gonna need this.
In the new world,
IRS Neebs. Come on.
In the new world that we create, we won't have an IRS. All right, if it goes.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
No.
Wait. Zombie tax auditors. That's where the zombies are gonna come from. They're gonna be zombie tax auditors, and they're gonna come around with like gray suits, and they're gonna be really ominous, and that's where it's gonna come from. And it's gonna spread by paper cuts. Bruh. Call me HBO. I got you.
It's going to be like that scene in Shaun of the Dead where his best friend is chained up and like right next to him. That's how all the tax auditors are going to be, just chained up somewhere doing our taxes.
And instead of playing video games, I'll be doing taxes.
Yep, I got you.
Listen, if we want to start a podcast after the zombie apocalypse, I'm your man for that too.
No, I loved that she found the sewing stuff in the drawer that was stuck.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the drawer was stuck, I was like, "There's gonna be good stuff in there," because it's that nobody got that didn't get looted. Ugh.
I love how it was in the kitchen too. I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
Junk drawer.
They see households.
Yeah, it does.
Drawer, right?
Oh, totally.
I find the junk drawer.
Yeah.
There's always a junk drawer. Yeah.
The junk drawer.
I have two.
I didn't know. Can you actually sew people together or stitch people together with just regular sewing stuff, or is it supposed to be like a special type, or are they just lying to us?
It's supposed to be nylon.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, but like,
Meh.
you don't have a choice in the zombie apocalypse. Like,
the last thing that I'm worrying about is the materials. She's stitching together like the surface skin, and I'm pretty sure that that's not the biggest issue when you have a gut wound. I think maybe it's the internal disconnections that are the issue. So I'm suspending my disbelief at this point because I need him to survive.
That is true. For him to survive, we can suspend. There's no infection. You don't have to clean the wound. You're good. Use that dirty rag.
She had alcohol or something.
Use the dirty rag.
Do the Parent Trap where you light the match and you put the needle in the match and that sanitizes it.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. That's fair. I believe it. Listen, anything for Pedro Pascal to stay on our screen.
Exactly. Absolutely. The internet's daddy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, she's coming back soon.
Season 3 is starting.
Yes. It starts Wednesday, right, Jack? We should do an episode Wednesday.
Oh yeah, this
March 1st. Yeah,
Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. All right. Let's do it. All right, guys. Final thoughts. What else happened on this episode? Did I miss anything?
Well, the game and the show contrast. Actually, there's two things. So one I wanted to. So there's also a big contrast between kind of the reactions that Ellie and Raleigh had versus what Frank and Bill had, right? So how they went out versus this episode. So I thought that was very interesting. But in terms of the game, it's very dramatic. You have a horde of zombies come after they're playing music in the Halloween store, a horde. And so they obviously didn't check the wall. And they all come swarming out and they come chasing him. It's super tense. And then they try to find a way out and every door's locked or covered with zombies. and you have to climb up some scaffolding. And then Riley gets up, and then Ellie gets up, but then Ellie falls back, and she falls all the way to the ground, and then a zombie comes and just attacks her. And the way that they get bit is like identical to the show. So I mean, the hand, the arm, and her wiping it off. I mean, it was very intense and very traumatic. So I mean, and I think they also were able to capture those kind of tender moments that they had with each other at the end. And then flipping back to Joel, and in the Joel like injury, Ellie actually brings him to a mall, and so that's what triggers this callback or this flashback. So she actually goes to like a mall store and finds like a padlock and like throws them in there. And there's actually these hunters and there's zombies who are infected that are in the mall. So it's like super intense. And it's like just a downloadable content. So you could just play that little part of the game, and you can kind of recapture or see what it's like from the game side. It's really cool.
Ooh, very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no worries.
You do that. Lots of cool stuff, man. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Get you on Twitch.
Oh, and I think she gets the medical kit, like the sewing kit, from like a helicopter that crashed into the mall.
Oh,
wow! She has to like climb up to it. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Really dope.
Yeah. Raph said this is his favorite episode so far. Really captured and expanded the emotions in the game. Yeah, for sure, man.
Totally.
I agree. Totally. Definitely
I know
agree.
People may think this episode is a little slow compared to the other episodes, but it was just so good.
I think even the slow episodes are just so worth it. Like the Bill and Frank episode, like there was just so much emotions behind this.
Really.
And this one, there's just a lot. The show just handles it really, really well. There hasn't been an episode I didn't like.
Does this one top Bill and Frank for you? Is it between this one and Bill and Frank? I think I'm still leaning Bill and Frank.
It's like, here's the thing, right? Bill and Frank is more like an older, more mature love, and this is more like a young puppy love kind of thing. And since I am almost 40 and like at that age, super old, according to Riley, I relate more to the older, mature love. I feel like that's kind of, more sweet, and it lasted a long time, and you can see it. It's not just like flash in the pan, one day kind of beautiful moment. It's like a slow burn. They had fights, they had everything, but at the end, it was this beautiful relationship, and they went out together. I thought that was really, really good. And it just depends, man. Maybe it just depends on where you are in life. What are your thoughts, Ruby? Want to go first?
No, I was thinking kind of the same thing, but I was going to do the same thing and chalk it up to age. And I think because the thing that, I don't know, I really liked the whole story. I remember being that young. I remember having those same kinds of facial expressions and like awkward feelings and whatever. But then I think the thing that got me was their choice to just kind of turn. And that was different for me because I think that I resonated so much more with like the choice that Bill and Frank made, because I think that's the choice that I would make. But I think that's the choice of like the types of books that I read growing up were just much, much older and very much like I cannot allow my vessel to become that, and then things like that. And then I was like, oh, these kids are young. Like they don't have this like attachment to this physical body in the same way. Like they barely understand their bodies. They don't care if their best, like their themselves are going to become something else afterwards. Like they're like, well, whatever, I'm going to get what I can now kind of thing. And I was like, I'd never thought about it until then.
Kids.
Kids.
I like the fact that like Riley and Ellie's biggest thing where they were going to die because they got bit, and Bill's biggest issue was I don't have the will to live, and I was like, I can relate.
Oh man,
the will to live is kind of hard thing to get. Depression.
Just get so tired all the time.
My life is that SpongeBob meme with like a rainbow and it says depression. Like, that's my life.
We love you.
Raph in the comments says my first date at like 14, we went to a theater and played Mortal Kombat 2. This is
Wow.
definitely brought back some
Nice.
memories for
Wow.
you. That's pretty cool.
No infected for you though.
Yeah.
No infected for you.
At least we hope not.
I did like the fact that she picked Raiden. Raiden is a solid
Rawr.
pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me this? Because what I have gleaned from this show is that as someone who has never played Mortal Kombat or basically any arcade games, I know that I have set foot in a Chuck E. Cheese at some point in my life, but I wouldn't know how to start. And I'm watching that and I'm going, these kids weren't born when this was a thing, and now they're coming in here and they're just, how do they know these kids? How do they know how to push the buttons? How are they getting this so fast? Would I be able to walk in and also
Yes.
teach myself how to play Mortal Kombat like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, when are we going? Let's
But
motor.
Ha!
I don't think she would know all the fatalities. They would know how to
Fatalities.
play.
Okay.
Exactly.
It was
But
like
the
quoting
fatalities
it.
is
That
where I
too.
draw the line.
Is that like
Totally.
the combo, the wombo combo
Yeah.
sequence thing that she was
Yeah.
like, do
It's
this,
not
do
like
this,
long
one
do
combos.
button. Yeah, you got to do like these
Her
really
excuse was that
complicated
she'd been
combos.
camped out there and she'd been playing it for a while, I guess.
Hey,
She
do
acted
it
like
on
she
the
only got
fucking
those
pipe
quarters
bombs,
last night. Yeah.
I
How
know.
did she know?
Unless you got a
Yeah,
cheat
those
code, I don't see
fatalities.
it.
No. You
Yeah.
can't.
I mean,
cheat
she could have gone to
fatalities.
GameStop and got the little,
The guide.
guide.
Oh, the GameStop is right there. Got a Game Pro. Do you guys remember Game Pro? Oh
Hold
my
on, let me
god,
see.
back in the day.
Yeah, man. Totally.
Yeah.
Read Game Informer magazine. Good times.
Mm.
All those.
Yeah. Dude, I was so poor that I would go into a Walgreens and open up the Game Pro magazine and then write down the cheat codes on my hand and then go home and play all of them. Like, that's how poor I was.
I love it. I love it.
Oh no.
Oh man. All right, good time. What else do we not talk about? I think we covered everything. That was good. Overall, what are your thoughts about this episode? For me, I thought it was
great
solid.
episode.
Another great
Yeah.
episode. The show doesn't miss. It doesn't miss.
Doesn't miss.
No.
They just don't
Yeah,
miss.
it really doesn't. It's solid. It's such a good show.
But here's the bad part. Only 2 episodes left.
Oh, why'd you have to say that?
I mean, for the season.
Season
What is
2
it?
is guaranteed, right?
Yeah, season 2
I
is
got
good.
that
they
impression
already
off of you guys. Okay, good.
Season 3
Yeah, they already
is
renewed
not
it.
because there is no part 2. Do you guys think that this is going
Part
to end off? I mean, part 3, yeah. Do you guys think this is going to end off at part 1, or there's still going to be more that we don't get to? Because only 2 episodes left. Can they finish the rest of the part 1 game in just 2 episodes?
Yes.
Okay,
100%.
all right.
I already know the direction that they're going. I think they can finish it pretty easily. So I think this will track with part 1, and then the second will track with part 2. Second season will track with part 2.
So in 2 weeks, I can buy the game and just play it straight out.
Probably.
Yeah, 100%. And you should.
Oh, it's going to be
And
fun.
stream it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'll stream
Definitely stream it.
Because I
wait to
can't
see
play
that.
it. I'll make my brother play it.
it.
Like I said, I have not played the games and I do not do the combats, so I have to watch that.
I'll play it at night and like in the dark, so that when I get scared, you guys
Yeah.
can see me frail. Like, ah!
I have like a little flashlight over your face. Yeah.
you guys don't understand. I am the most reactive person to watch a movie with, especially a horror movie. You guys should have seen me at Cocaine Bear.
Oh my God.
I'm like, like I am the worst. It's just
There's no
insane.
cocaine involved, right? It was just
No,
the movie.
I
right?
did have a lot of sugar. They gave us a lot of Sour Patch Kids and gummy bears, so I had a lot of sugar.
We had to ask.
Are you sure it was?
Are
just
I am
sugar?
sure.
It was sugar.
I am sure.
Do you need me to drug test you?
You can drug test me, I'm sure. I have not even Adderall
Rom
yet.
Nerds Part 2.
Even though if I did start taking Adderall, I probably might just become an upstanding citizen and just be like, whoa, I'm smart now.
Oh no. Let me tell you, your anxiety would go through the roof with it.
Anxiety, being smart. I don't know.
No. Listen, I'm already anxious and I'm doing a PhD, so it's enough. Don't do it anymore. No.
I know. You're gonna be doctor soon. We have to bring you back on and be like, Doctor
So
Ruby.
soon.
Yes. Well, inshallah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on this episode, Ruby. You were a delight.
Aw, thanks for having me.
Yes, it was awesome. You can be on any episode you want. Just tell us what you're watching, and you're welcome.
Now I have to watch stuff.
I would make you a
Parachute in.
permanent host, but you'll just make us look so bad. That,
Think of all the words you'll learn. Think
everybody
of all
would
the
be like,
words.
"We want Ruby. We want Ruby." Me and Jazz wouldn't have a job. Hostile
No.
takeover.
Do we have jobs, Noobs?
Listen, Jazz and me, our talent is to make our guests look amazing. Look what we did to Ruszy.
I
Nice.
know.
He's amazing.
They brought
I
him
got-
all the time.
That's a
Look at
backhanded compliment
that.
there.
Lost in the world.
Listen, we hype Ruszy up
Lost.
all the time, man. This guy is amazing.
I don't know
He's
why
the
we do.
best.
He's already married.
I know. That's fine. That's fine. You know what my theory is, right? You ever heard the overflow theory? You find a friend who's just like, just amazing that all the girls are crazy about. And then when they find out he's not single, you can get his overflow because they'll be so let
Oh
down
my
by the
god.
fact that he can't get girls. They'll be like, oh, who's around? Oh, look, it's Need. Well, he's a good
Oh, look, it's
consolation
Needs and Needs and Jazz.
prize. I'm all about that. I'm about being somebody's consolation prize.
So basically, you're saying I'm helping you get your Rishta and
That's right.
Yeah.
all
That's
that
right.
stuff.
It's trickle
Yeah,
down
all right.
rishtas.
Listen,
Okay. Trickle down.
trickle down Ristas. That's how Reagan was right all
Please.
along.
Oh, no.
Please change the name of this
no.
episode to Trickle Down Rishta.
Listen, I
Oh
think
my
there's a
God.
plan in here, man. I think there's a plan. I feel like Rista Bros, we can do that. We can have all the
Rista
girls
Bros.
go after the one hot
We've
guy.
been talking about that for a year.
I think we've
Oh,
come
yeah.
up with the next, we've come up with several
I know.
blockbuster shows already. We've got the IRS tax zombie
Zombie.
auditors. And we've got Trickle Down Ristas, the new dating show.
Yeah.
The zombies coming up
Yeah.
and like, W2, 1099.
Your refund was lost in the mail. We ate it. It'll be great. We're gonna
Oh
be-
man! All right.
What you got?
Well, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you everybody for joining us. This was a great talk. This was funny. This was educational. Ruby killed it. Razi killed it. Jazz was here.
Oh!
Like always.
We love you, Jazz.
I love
sure it
you,
looked pretty.
Jazz. I love you, Jazz. That was my backhanded compliment because you missed an episode.
Well played.
Well played. Until next time,
I
you guys.
I won't say it.
Jazz gonna give you back. No, don't. My feelings will get hurt.
Your feelings get real hurt if I say this.
I know. I'm the sensitive one. You can take it.
Wait till it's good. I want to hear.
Let's cut the show real quick, guys.
Okay.
Salaam, nurse. Bye.
Salaam.